Hello, I am Margaret the Med Beauty. Welcome to my channel. This is my very first YouTube video, so I'm very excited. So just to introduce myself, since it is my first video. So if you don't want to hear this little spill about me, feel free to skip and fast forward like to that magical number right down there, okay? So a little bit about me. My name is Margaret Nicole. I was born and raised here in Little Rock, Arkansas. I still live here in Little Rock, Arkansas. Although I've also lived in other places. I lived in Texas, which is where I went to undergrad. I lived in Spain, which is where I studied abroad for a semester. So that was really fun. I love everything beauty. I love to cook. I love to exercise. Before COVID, I was definitely at the gym, but I haven't been to the gym since COVID. But I love to exercise. I love being outside. I just get my energy from the sun, so I love that as well. My favorite color is pink. If you can't tell, my favorite color is pink. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Back in February, I got accepted into medical school here in my hometown of Little Rock at UAMS. Feel free to look them up, University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. I'll be starting school in August. So August 10th is my first day of classes. You may be looking at this because you may follow me on Instagram at Marge the Med Beauty. Feel free to follow me there if you don't already. Everything I post will be medicine, beauty, or motivation related. So I look forward to having you be a part of my community. I also have a blog that I just launched, Marge the Med Beauty. Feel free to go to margethemedbeauty.com to check it out. As you know from the title, I'm going to be talking about my journey to medicine. So how I got in, I am 25, as you know, so I'm a non-traditional student. If I would have been traditional, I would have been more like 21, 22. So I did have 3 gap years. I'm going to be telling you all about that and just kind of all about me during this video. So let's jump right on in. My family's a big part, I would say, a big part of my medicine journey, and just growing up and, you know, deciding to even pursue medicine. My family was a part of that. So I have scientists in my family, I have doctors in my family. So like my aunt is a pediatrician. I'm interested in pediatrics too. So like I'm not a first generation student. Education is definitely something that my family drove home throughout like my entire life. And yes, so like for example, my grandfather, he's a doctor. He is not a physician. He's not a physician, but he does have his doctorate. I believe it was like in biology, zoology, something like that. But he is, you know, a doctorate level professor. He was a doctorate level professor. He has passed away. But anyway, because of my family and their influence and their help and support throughout my entire life, it's definitely motivated me into pursuing medicine, and just growing up, having their support. It's definitely helped like with science fairs. I used to win those all the time when I was a kid. I've always just enjoyed science. I personally, honestly, don't like to read that much. It's bad to say, I know that's bad, but I don't like to read that much. I like to just kind of get understanding. I love science, I love math, I love figuring out problems. That's my kind of thing. So I always just was attracted to sciences. I did a lot of AP classes. I went to a public like high school, so to kind of compensate that, you know, as preparing for college versus going to like a private high school, I just took a lot of AP classes, and that definitely helped on my journey. So let's go ahead and start with college. So I went to Trinity University. That is a private liberal arts school in San Antonio, Texas. So it's a small school, probably about 3,000, roughly 3,000 students. I received my Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry and Spanish. I double majored. And at Trinity, I had a great experience. I was there from August 2013 through May 2017, 4 years, obviously. It was very rigorous, and because of that, because of that, it was hard to balance, you know, studying for the MCAT, filling out the applications, shadowing. It was hard to balance that with the coursework because it was a very rigorous school. So for that reason, often when I was like doing my pre-med stuff, I was doing it during the summertime when I wasn't in class full time. So that I feel like also kind of took me on, was a part in why I am on a non-traditional route to getting into medical school. I'm sure like some of my peers did do it, but I believe, you know, also a lot of my peers at Trinity did take some time off to just tie up loose ends and finish everything. And so my summers while I was in college. So with that, my first summer, so that was in the summer after my freshman year, I did asthma disparities research. Again, I went back home. All of my summers I went home. So during that first summer, I did asthma disparities research at a children's hospital, Arkansas Children's Hospital. I'm from Arkansas, so Arkansas Children's Hospital. The second summer after sophomore year. So that summer, I believe I was just doing coursework. So I wanted to again get my prereqs done. So I think I might take statistics and maybe sociology, if I remember correctly. So I did coursework that summer. The third and last summer of college, which was the summer after my junior year, that summer I did some pre-med stuff. So I did like a pre-med summer immersion program, and with that program, of course, we studied for the MCAT. So that program brought in Kaplan, and then of course we also had like camp counselors, I guess you could say, summer counselors. They were all current medical students. I believe they were all first year medical students, and they, you know, helped us. So they walked us through, for example, like the application. They gave us advice. They walked us through the applications. So whether that be the AAMC application or the AACOMAS application. So they walked us through that, and they read our personal statements. They helped us with any and everything that we asked for. They were really great. So that was college. Now, point number 3. So that was growing up, that was college, and then point number 3, graduate school. So once I graduated in 2017, that was in May 2017, I went to graduate school in that fall. I went and got a graduate certificate. And what that is how I always explain it. It's like a mini master's. So it's not as many credits. I literally finished it within 1 year, so within 2 semesters. And I got my graduate certificate in biomedical sciences. It was great because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a chemistry major. I really want to solidify my foundation in biology, and I feel like having that graduate certificate in essentially biology, it was in biomedical sciences, but essentially biology, that would help. So with that certificate, I was able to complete classes, graduate level coursework in biochemistry, cell biology, and biostatistics. During that time, while I was in graduate school, I also shadowed, which was very helpful. Next and last point, we're almost done. I worked. So after I completed my graduate certificate, I basically started working right after that. I wanted to make sure I got health-related experience. I didn't just get, a random job. So I started working at a academic health center. I started working as a research assistant, and I was working at academic health center, and they did have a medical school associated with them. So I was working in the Office of Health Initiatives and Disparities Research, and basically what I had the opportunity to do was cancer disparities research. It was great because I honestly didn't know anything about cancer, so it was great exposure. And of course, during that time, I was basically under a physician. She's a breast surgical oncologist, so a breast cancer surgeon. And during that time, it was great because I also had the chance to shadow her in the OR, go on rounds with them around the hospital, and that could be a whole nother video all on my job. But it was just a lot of exposure, go to various meetings, and just really see kind of how, not just how health worked, but public health as well. And kind of me being on the inside, you kind of saw the politics behind health as well. But yeah, that could be a whole another video, so we're gonna get back on track. But for me, I worked at that job. I was in that job for 2 years. I just quit because now I'm going to school. I don't plan to work while I'm in school. But me having that job, it was really beneficial because it's hard for me to focus on a whole bunch of different things all at once. Me having that job, it made it easier for me to just focus and buckle down on MCAT studying and medical school applications, all of that, because I didn't have other exams going on, I didn't have other assignments due, and all that jazz. So it was nice. It was exactly what I needed. And then of course, me being a research assistant and doing research, that was really beneficial because I was doing research. So when I went to my interviews, I already had experience writing abstracts. So submitting those abstracts to conferences, I already had experience presenting my research at conferences. I already had submitted abstracts to conferences, some being accepted, some being, I was waiting on them to be accepted. So that was another thing that I could talk about during my interviews that, a person straight out of college may or may not have. So I know I didn't have that research presentation experience during undergrad. As far as like going to conferences and presenting with other professionals, other health professionals. So it was great for me to have that experience. So yeah, I quit my job and now I am relaxing for the most part. I'm blogging, YouTubing, as you can tell, during my free time, just kind of taking advantage of my free time as much as I can to relax. And yeah, so that is my journey. That's basically everything that I did from growing up all the way till basically today. And that's how I got to med school. All those steps I definitely think helped and prepared me for, to dive into school now and helped me get accepted. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, post it in the comments below. Can't wait to talk with you guys. I am very passionate about non-traditional students because I am non-traditional. It's a different kind of path, to say for sure. And sometimes you can need help on that path if you're a non-traditional student. So what I do offer is advising sessions. I would love to talk to you if you would like or need, if you're looking for a mentor or needing maybe just someone to talk to briefly to bounce ideas off of, make sure you're on the right track. I'd love to talk to you. I do have advising sessions for free if you would like some assistance, if you would like a second opinion, third opinion. So just head over to my blog. You head over to my website. That's marchthemedbeauty.com, and there just hover over to the medicine page and you'll see a page, pre-med advising. So click on pre-med advising and you'll see a form. You just fill out that form and we can set up a Zoom meeting, just 30 minutes. And yeah, so thank you for tuning in. I'm excited to be talking with you guys and connecting with more people. Follow me and subscribe. Talk to y'all very soon. Bye.